Now let's take a look at the Magnificent Seven, and maybe soon it'll be the Magnificent Six because one of them has really been lagging. Let's start off with Apple. Apple is still a huge company, $2.77 trillion market cap. In the last year, it's up 23%, but year to date, it's down 3.2%, has a PE of 28%. What's the story on Apple? Well, I think that they have not been growing well over a year. They also don't have something new and exciting. Frankly, the mobile phone business, the smartphone business, it's a great business, but they have a lot of good competition from Samsung and even Alphabet with their Android device, as well as others around the world. Huawei is really a competitor for them. So they're really taking a lot of device competition, and I think they're beginning to feel it. They don't have anything new and exciting to put out there and diversify their revenue flows. So I think that's beginning to put downward pressure on Apple, and it's a huge market cap. The next company is Amazon, and Amazon's just doing great. Their market cap is $1.85 trillion. They're up 93.4% in 1 year. Just phenomenal. This year, the rally continues in Amazon, up 18.9%. Their PE is really high at 61.5. So what's this story on Amazon? I think that they're really benefiting from the AI craze because AWS is one of the big hyperscalers. And as companies really want to build large language models and really get into the AI business, they're going to have to buy more services from Amazon, as well as Amazon has a diversified business. And it seems like Amazon's in too many businesses, based on my rule of thumb that you should be a master of a few businesses, but they really do operate well over across the board. We'll see if they can sustain it. That's one of the worries I have on Amazon is, boy, they have a lot of different businesses. And if you look at the employee count, it's massive. That's why I sold my Amazon stock last year. I sold at a big gain, but I'm not participating in the incremental gain. I guess I can count myself as, wise for not being greedy, but it really is a bitter pill to swallow to see the stock continue to go up. The next company is Nvidia, and Nvidia has been incredible, and that's an understatement. The stock is up 239% in 1 year. It's up 70.8% year to date. Collectively, you could have bought Nvidia, I think, pretty much at a sixth of the value that you would have today, just about 18 months ago. So it's just a phenomenal company with the best semiconductor technology right now, the best GPUs in the marketplace. I don't own Nvidia. I think that semiconductor stocks are cyclical, meaning that they'll have great demand for a year or two and then it'll go away and then those stocks will struggle to grow. Will Nvidia experience that? Well, history would tell us that the answer is yes. History has repeated itself over and over again. If you look at Intel, it was hard to believe that that company was once the Nvidia of technology. If you look at the PC business in the 90s, and they really went up in value, but then once the bubble popped in what was the dot-com bubble back then, it took a long time for Intel to get back to its market cap that it had at the high of the dot-com bubble. Now, Nvidia is really in the limelight today. It's doing great. If you were smart enough and lucky enough to buy Nvidia, congratulations. You deserve every single dollar you earned. I wasn't smart enough and I wasn't lucky enough to buy Nvidia. I think the company's phenomenal. I think they're great. I just don't believe they're worth $2 trillion. I think that they're worth maybe a fourth. But we'll see. We'll see if I continue to be wrong and investors continue to be right. Investors in Nvidia continue to be right and continue to make lots of money because they certainly have made a ton of money in 2024. The one stock that I was right about, and it's bittersweet because I'm a big fan, is Tesla. Tesla has a market cap of 635 billion and it's only up 6% over the past year. It's down 18% year to date and it's down significantly from its high of 2023. And the reason for it is Tesla is a car company, and I think it was trading as a technology company. It's not like Nvidia where it just sells a GPU and they're done. No, when you sell a car, there's a lot of regulation, there's recalls, cars are sold to consumers. You're kind of on the hook to service that consumer. You have to distribute them around the world. You have to run factories. It's just a very tough business. Now, earlier in Tesla's history, I was a stockholder. I'm a big fan of Tesla. I think it's great that they came out and revolutionized the car business. But the car business is over 100 years old. There's some really tough competitors in there, like Toyota, really brilliant people that are really passionate about making cars over at Toyota. So Tesla has to really compete against competitors that are pretty tough, that have capital, really know how to make good cars. And I think they're going to continue to feel that pressure and that competition going forward. So I don't expect Tesla to do very much with regard to stock appreciation. I would not be surprised if Tesla really went down another 20 to 40% in value from this point. Alphabet has historically just been such a great company. Their Google search, YouTube, all kinds of different companies, the Android operating system. It seemed like for a long time they were making just great decisions. And for some reason, over the last year, 2 years, they've made a lot of terrible decisions, especially around AI. And it's really beginning to show. This year, they're down 1% year to date. It's still a big company, $1.7 trillion in market cap. If you measure from 1 year ago to today, they're up 49%, which is a good return. But year to date, it's really showing that Alphabet's really got to pick up their game strategically. They got to get AI right because right now, Microsoft and others are really eating their lunch. Holy smokes. It seems like every press release that I hear from Alphabet AI is bad news, which is terrible. Yet I think that Alphabet has some of the best intellect in their industry and in the world. They also have data coming out of their ears, so they should have plenty of data to work with to provide a lot of AI services. So I'm looking for Alphabet to bounce back. I would expect that they're going to bounce back, but I think they've been fairly well discounted because they've been performing poorly when it comes to execution on AI. I am an Alphabet stockholder. It's probably the third biggest position in my portfolio at this moment. It is a significant position in my portfolio. I believe in Alphabet. I believe that they have just great products. They have phenomenal employees. Historically, they'd had phenomenal leadership. And maybe that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a change at the very top to really reset the strategy and have better leadership going forward. Because I could tell you that for the last year, Alphabet has really, really fallen back on AI. And that's been a huge disappointment as a stockholder. We'll see what happens with Alphabet going forward. Meta has been doing great. Meta's up to a market cap of $1.28 trillion dollars. In 1 year, they're up 188%, and year to date, they're up 45%. So Meta's just doing great. They have a PE of 32.8, and this is my biggest holding across my entire portfolio. The only worry I have on Meta is that it represents quite a bit of my portfolio, a little over 10%. So I am kind of in it to win it with Meta, and I'm hoping that they continue to grow. They are the best in their space, no doubt about it. And what's really helped them is that they have a position in the AI space. They have tremendous data, they have access to billions of users. They have great technology. They have great people. So I think they're going to capitalize on their AI opportunities. I think they've come out with their Llama large language model. And what that allows is companies to develop on Llama, and it's almost like open source. Yet Meta would have a participation right in that business should other companies develop on Llama. So it opens up an opportunity that really has been there, and it's kind of an accidental opportunity for them, so to speak. And it's great to see that Meta has that. as well as their traditional business, which is their advertising business across all their social platforms. And it's good to end with the OG original gangster company, which is Microsoft. Microsoft has been a relevant leader in the technology space for decades. And it more recently, they have controlled the narrative on AI. So just my hats off to their leadership, my hats off to their employees, and I tip my hat to all investors of Microsoft stock. I'm currently not a Microsoft stock holder. I have in the past, but it's been many years since I've owned their stock. They are the most valuable company in on the stock market now. They're a $3.09 trillion company. Phenomenal value in Microsoft. In 1 year, they're up 65%. Year to date, they're up 12%. PE of 37.6. Where's Microsoft going? I think they're a sound business, but it's just hard to fathom that they will go from $3 to $4 trillion in value. I mean, where's it coming from? There's a lot of hype in AI. Realistically, I don't know how much hype, but there's a lot. And I think when AI business models begin to get proved or unproven, then the stocks that have a lot of AI hype priced into them are going to fall behind or fall back. I think Microsoft will suffer some of that. Will it happen in the next 6 months? I don't think so. Will it happen over the next 2 years? I think so. I think over the next 2 years, we're going to begin to see is how real is AI? How big is it realistically going to be? And who are the winners and losers really in AI? It's tough to determine at this point. It's an interesting paradigm we're on with AI, but anybody who says they know exactly what businesses are going to work is really making that up.